All right, I'm working on the edging in the bog right now. And I wanted to show you a solution I came up with for accessing valves. So I have if you remember, I have a 3-inch line coming into the bog. I access the valve there under this stone right here. Pull it off, there's a valve down there, a 3-inch valve I can control. And as I control that, it sends a line. It sends water down a line into here, which you can see this plumbing coming up out of the gravel here. And I've got a T in there with a 1-inch line coming off of it going to this fountain over here that is totally incomplete at the moment. I'll show you that later. As well as a 2-inch valve down there that just dumps out into a cavern under this giant rock. And that's to allow me to control the flow rising through the bog and the rest dumping out on top. Anyways, this is about accessing the valves. So my solution here allows me to keep the valves inside of the pond while still being able to pretty easily access them to either exercise or replace if necessary. So what I did is, I've got this 2-inch and it's literally just dumping out. I don't know if I can get down in there and show you. But the end of the valve, there's nothing on the end of the valve. It just comes right off and that's the end of it. What I did was, you can see it's about, 12 to 14 inches down in that hole, I think. So I built this little rock retaining wall outside of the pond. And without moving anything, I've got this rock. This would be easier if I cut the liner and underlayment back already, but I've got this rock inside the pond that I can just pull out if I need to. But without doing anything, I can just reach in there with one hand and exercise it. But 2-inch valves, especially PVC, are pretty hard to turn. And so if I ever need to get 2 hands on it, what I did is I built, this rock and this rock are my frame rocks, and then this rock is just sitting in here. And I can just pop that out, pull the liner back, and now I can get one hand down here, and I'm holding the camera with the other hand, but I can stick my other hand in there so I can turn it with 2 hands if I need to. Now, if I were to need to replace it, I could take out, I could pull this rock out, and I can pull this rock out. This one's a little bit too heavy for me to do with one hand with the camera, but if I pull this out and the other one out, then I can, I have the joint I have in there is unglued. I can just pull it off. And then I have access. So that way, it allows me to get at the plumbing from outside the pond while keeping the plumbing inside the pond and accessible while still hiding it. And this guy, if I remember the orientation, plops back down in there. Ta-da!